I am testing your attention span. Hey, no, focus. Don't look away. Focus. I would like to start off this video by saying thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to make this video. Okay, so this right here is Sarah. You guys remember Sarah, right? She is over at Baroque Works Drum Island. Okay, did I miss something?
So the comments on my last video are I'm sharing my thoughts as I read the manga One Piece, and in this video I'm going to talk about Logetown through Drum Island. So it's been a while since I've read all of this, since I'm backtracking for these videos, so forgive me if I get some details like out of order or wrong. But I feel like I don't have that much to say about Logetown. We see Buggy and Alvida again, which is cool. So that's, I think, maybe one of the first times where we get callbacks to people we've met before in the world and see sort of what they're up to, and they sort of come back into the narrative, which is cool. We also meet Smoker and Tashigi, who are people with the Navy, and we also meet a mysterious guy who I can't remember if he's named at this point in the story, but a mysterious guy basically saves Luffy from Smoker and lets Luffy escape from Logetown. And so at the time, I kind of didn't really think anything of it. I assumed I would figure out who that guy is in the future, and as of now, I do know who that is. So, but I won't spoil it for people who haven't got there yet. I actually do have another thought about Logetown, and that's related to the fact that this is the location where the Pirate King was executed, and we literally see Luffy run up on the execution stand, and at the time I was like, okay, this has to come full circle at some point towards the end of the story, like we have to come back here, or like something is going to be significant about that. But now that I'm thinking about it, it might just be a significant moment on its own, sort of symbolizing the fact that Luffy is carrying on the torch or the will of the Pirate King, and wants to become the next Pirate King, you know? So, I don't know. Either way, cool moment. Then we go to Reverse Mountain, which is like the entrance to the Grand Line.
Okay.
And obviously the best part of this part of the story is meeting Laboon. This is the fourth time that I've cried, and it's not even because Laboon's story is so sad and that his crew, like, left him behind to keep him safe, but he doesn't know that and he thinks they forgot about him. Like, that's already very sad. But I think it really hit me because Luffy's solution to the problem is so endearing and, like, surprising, just because, I don't know, I think at this point in the story, I didn't realize how emotionally intelligent Luffy really is. So the fact that he so quickly came up with a solution and cared enough to find a solution just really resonated with me. And also, like, just the thought of Laboon sitting there with all of his scars on his forehead, and then also this poorly drawn skull and crossbones on his head is...
It wasn't poorly... Oh yeah, Luffy is garbage at drawing. But man, Luffy is trying.
I just love it. Then we go to Whiskey Peak, which I don't think I have that much to say about, except that the Straw Hats become enemies with Baroque Works, which is like a bounty hunter organization, and we also meet Princess Vivi of the Kingdom of Alabasta, and basically take her in as part of the crew for a while, and with the goal of helping her restore peace to her kingdom, because the president of Baroque Works is trying to take over her country. And I'm not actually sure if we learned that much in Whiskey Peak or not, but it doesn't matter. In Whiskey Peak, we also see Zoro take on a bunch of the Baroque Works agents all at once, and I think this is the first time in the story that any of our pirates take on a large number of enemies on all at once. I might be wrong, but I remember this moment standing out because I was like, there's no way he can fight all of them, like he's gonna run away or something, but no, he literally beats all of their asses. So on our way to Alabasta, the next stop is Little Garden, which is already cool because there's dinosaurs on this island. And we also learn that giants exist in this world, and we meet two giants that are in this honor-bound warriors agreement with each other, where they basically wake up every day and fight with the idea that they will fight every day like this until one of them finally defeats the other, but they're so evenly matched that they've been at it for years. And they're also like friendly with each other, and it's very cool, like, world building moment. Some of the top Baroque Works agents also follow us to this island, and we're in continued conflict with them. Sanji has sort of strayed away from the group and has a big brain moment where he ends up on the phone with Mr. Zero, who is the head of Baroque Works.
Okay.
But Mr. Zero thinks he's talking to one of his top agents, but it's actually Sanji. And Sanji kind of plays it off and convinces him that they have already killed the Straw Hat crew, even though they really haven't. And then the Straw Hat crew goes and defeats the top agents from Baroque Works or whatever, but the lead guy thinks they're all dead, so Baroque Works stops pursuing the Straw Hats. So I feel like this introduces one of Sanji's underlying roles on the crew, which I have later examples from later arcs as well.
Okay.
But basically, he often seems to be in the right place at the right time, and then often makes a good decision on the fly. Like, he's very clever in that way. Then we go to Drum Island because we're in search of a doctor for Nami, who has fallen ill, and we find one. We meet Tony Chopper, who is a reindeer with
Boku wa Doctor Tony Chop. I know I'm not the only one who thought about it, okay? Okay, you too. You did too, okay? Shut up.
the blue nose that ate a human devil fruit. So he's basically this little human reindeer guy, and he's a doctor. And he's so cute. Every time I see him on a panel, even still, I smile a little bit. And his backstory hits very hard as well. Anytime there is a story about an outcast, it's gonna hit hard for me. And it just hurts so much more because everyone in his life calls him a monster. Like, not only does his reindeer family and all of the humans around him oust him, but literally call him a monster. That just like takes it to the next level for me. And it's like, you cannot do that to my cute little guy. The story of what's going on this island is also interesting because basically there's a corrupt king who has hoarded all of the doctors for himself. There's like only 20 doctors on this island, and they're all basically under the direct supervision and control of the king on the island, and he doesn't let the doctors treat any of the like village people on the island. It's only reserved for his own services. So immediately it's like, okay, if there's this one guy on this one island and he's kind of allowed to act like this, like what else is going on in the world? And also Chopper's mentor, who has since passed away, thought that if cherry blossoms could bloom on Drum Island, then it would be like cure the sickness of the heart and end the tyrannical rule of King Wapol. And at the end of this arc, Chopper does in fact make cherry blossoms bloom on this island, and it's just like, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's the 5th time that I've cried while reading this story. The whole story of this arc is the Straw Hats basically kicking the corrupt king's ass out of there and restoring power to the people, which is awesome. I think that's all I have to say about these pieces of the story. In the next video, I will talk about the Alabasta saga.
Oh, that's nice. All right. I want to see more of her videos, actually.
I'm reading One Piece right now.
So now she is in Alabasta. Let's check this out.
Let's talk about the Alabasta arc.
Okay.
At this point in the story, the level of conflict that we're dealing with has definitely risen to the next level because we're literally getting involved with a civil war in a country. We've become friends with Princess Vivi of the Kingdom Alabasta, and her country is kind of being forced into a civil war that's orchestrated by one of the 7 warlords of the sea. His name is Crocodile, and he basically has convinced the people of this country that their king is hoarding this special powder called dance powder that actually would cause rain in the capital, but then send the rest of the country into a drought. So Crocodile basically convinces the nation that their king is forcing them into a drought. So the people in this country want to overthrow the government, but because Crocodile has kind of orchestrated things in a certain way, if the kingdom does become overthrown, he would end up on top. Vivi is such a strong character in this arc, and I feel like I can literally feel her desperation as she tries to like race against time to save her kingdom and expose the truth of what Crocodile has been doing. And I also love that she's the literal princess, but she went undercover as part of a crime organization. Like, that's just very badass. And also, Oda loves to write women that feel like they have to bear all of their burdens in life on their own. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but he does love that. But she eventually learns to trust the Straw Hats, and they are like, dude, we're gonna fight for you, we got you. Also meet Ace in the very beginning of this arc, and we learn that he is Luffy's brother and that he is searching for a pirate named Blackbeard, who I think we actually saw in a few panels earlier in the manga, but I forgot to mention. But obviously I'm curious at this point of how that's going to tie back into the story later, but he's not around for long in this arc.
Oh, okay.
We also see another big brain moment from Sanji here, where he benefits from the fact that Crocodile actually never learned of Sanji's existence, so he doesn't know that there's another Straw Hat member. And Crocodile has trapped all of the Straw Hats except for Sanji and Chopper. And Sanji calls Crocodile on the phone while he's standing in front of all the other Straw Hats in a cage, and Smoker is also there. And Sanji is basically able to lure Crocodile away and trick him, which is then able to help the Straw Hats escape. But I'm not getting all of the details exactly right, but what's important is that Sanji pulls off another clever plan, and I love that for him. Obviously, Luffy's main combat opponent in this arc is Crocodile, and I think they fight on 3 different occasions. Crocodile is made out of sand, so Luffy basically can't hit him, but eventually learns that Crocodile's weakness is water, so if he gets him wet, he can actually hit him, which is super cool on its own, but then eventually they're in the desert and Luffy runs out of water, so he uses his own blood to be able to hit Crocodile, and that is so badass. We love to see it. Alabasta is also the first time we see Nami try to engage in combat because Usopp has created a weather baton weapon for her, and it's kind of confusing for her on how to use it, so the actual combat is kind of painful to read because it takes her forever to figure it out. It's like, come on girl, you can do it. But it was very cool to see her joining in the fight. Another moment that I cried here, I think this is number 6, is again relating to an animal, but Vivi has a pet duck who, the ducks in this world are like as big as horses basically, so you can ride them, and Vivi has this pet horse named Karoo that I grew to love. And Karoo fights very hard in all of these battles and takes a very hard hit, and I almost thought he was gonna die, but he didn't. He recovers. But how hard he fought really shocked me and moved me. Also learned that the main reason that Crocodile is interested in Alabasta is because this kingdom houses what's called a poneglyph, which is a historical monument that Crocodile thinks contains instructions for how to build the world's deadliest weapon. And so what he really wants is to be able to read what's on the poneglyph so he can gain access to a very strong weapon. His vice president, who I haven't mentioned yet, is named Miss All Sunday, and she supposedly is one of the only people that can translate the words on this poneglyph. We eventually learn that Miss All Sunday's name is Nico Robin, and the introduction of the poneglyphs raises new questions in the world of what are the poneglyphs, are there more than one, what information do they encode, and why is Nico Robin one of the only people or the only person who can read them. Throughout the arc, Nico Robin and Luffy end up taking turns saving each other. Even though at the very end, Nico Robin asks Luffy to let her die, he still saves her. He's like, why would I listen to you? Then at the very end, she shows up on the merry-go and she's like, well, Luffy, you saved my life even though I didn't want to keep living, so now I'm going to join your crew. And he's basically like, yeah, can't argue with that, welcome aboard. And so now Nico Robin is our new member of the crew. From the beginning, I was very interested in Nico Robin as a character, and as soon as I learned that she was an archaeologist, I became more interested. I'm a researcher myself, so I'm very drawn to characters that share that trait. I shed some tears when Vivi decided not to join the Straw Hats after all was said and done, but again, not only is it just a sad concept that she's parting with her friends, but Oda's writing just cuts right to the core, because something about the phrasing if we ever meet again, will you still call me your crewmate? It's like, aww. I don't know. It's just it's not just will we still be friends or please still be my friend. It's will you still call me your crewmate? Will I still be one of you, basically? I don't know. And it's just so good. And then the way that the Straw Hats respond to her, because they can't call out to her because the Navy is watching and they don't want to incriminate Vivi for being in alliance with the pirates, but instead they hold up their arms and show the symbol that has symbolized their basically companionship throughout the arc so that they could identify each other in combat. And it's a beautiful moment, and especially little Chopper, because it's like they're all standing there, but he's tiny and still holding up his little hoof. It's so good. I feel like that was kind of all over the place, but those are my main thoughts from Alabasta. I was a big fan. In the next video, we'll talk about Skypiea. I'm reading One Piece right now.
Okay, that was good. Man. Wow. Sarah's really enjoying it. I really like Sarah's journey so far. I hope to do more of reviews on Sarah's journey. So, Sarah, you got to upload more.
It is Sunday.
You guys remember Strawberry? I think I called her Strawberry, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and look at more of Strawberry.
The greatest pirate.
I think we haven't seen this video yet, so we'll go ahead and check this one out.
Reading One Piece, chapters 4 through 6. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Forgetting to do my predictions. I think Luffy is gonna break Zolo out of jail. And then I think they're gonna have a run-in with Captain Morgan. Now, is Captain Morgan good or bad? Based on his son, I'm thinking he's bad.
Okay.
Let's see. I told y'all, I knew Luffy was a crash out. Just because you're the captain's son don't mean you safe, bro. His hands is E for everybody. Okay, so her name is Rika. Oh, Captain Morgan a little...
I have never heard this before in all my 9 years. What? Hold on. What?
Let me stop. With an axe on his arm? Yeah, Captain Morgan is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's for sure. Okay, Kobe's stepping up. He said, I can't stand for this injustice. You're not even supposed to be locked up. We're moving on to chapter 5. I would not want to be on Luffy's bad side. Okay, so the black pages mean we're going back in time, or it's like a flashback. It's to be the greatest swordman, but Luffy...
I actually did not know that. Is that a real thing? Or black pages a symbol of... Well, hold on. Let me look at the latest One Piece chapter. Hold on, because the latest One Piece chapter does have a flashback. Are the black page... Oh, shoot! The back pages are a flashback thing, aren't they? Yeah! I actually never knew this. Like, I always saw the black pages, but it never like clicked in my head, huh? I learned something new today. They are a flashback. Oh, wow. That's cool.
The greatest pirate. Like, they're the same person. So they're getting into the idea of sexism. Zolo even has the option to say he wants to be the greatest swordsman.
Okay.
She can't even do that. I love that he doesn't care. He's like, I want to beat you just because, not because I'm a boy and you a girl. What? She died? Luffy is like that one meme of like Drake when he came out and the bullet holes are smoking. That is the end of chapter 5. Okay, predictions for chapter 6. Obviously, Luffy and Zolo are gonna beat the Navy, gonna beat Captain Morgan, and then that is gonna set them off on like a wild goose chase of them like chasing them wherever they go. Ultimately, I think they're gonna beat their ass and then they're gonna get away and sail off.
Okay.
Ooh, him holding all 3 swords, one in the mouth.
Each day I come here, I am abused by the fact that there are so many Zoro fangirls. Every day I come here, I am abused. Somebody said in one of the live streams that you might as well be just Sanji, because the way you react to Zoro getting all the girls, yes, fine, I'll admit it. I am jealous of Zoro. That moss head.
Yeah, I need to calm down. Sometimes when the art goes on both pages, I have to like zoom out. They're an unbeatable team. I told you, I'm Straw Hat Luffy, bitch. Tell him. Again, Luffy don't play. He said, I don't give a fuck about your axe hand. Lost my damn page doing all of that. Captain, you're finished. You're done. That is the end of chapter 6. I know I'm just at the beginning, but I already love this series. It's so fun. It is Sunday morning.
That was nice. I look forward to more.
One Piece.
I kind of want to see more of them.
I'm back again.
Okay, she made another one. We'll go ahead and check this one out.
And with One Piece. Finishing up volume 1. I only have 2 chapters left.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Did they kill him? Defeated mean kill? That could be subjective. Kobe, you know you want to stay with them. Just stay with them. Stay! Oh. First time Kobe punches somebody and it's Luffy. That's mad funny. Good for him. And Kobe really wants to be a part of the Navy. That's disheartening. Luffy is a good friend. I'm sad he's not going with them. Wait, what's the serious mistake that they made? That's the end of chapter 7. Oops, I forgot my predictions before I started reading. So now I can only make predictions for chapter 8. So I think that Zolo or Zora...
Sure to read it, say Zoro.
They know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna try and get to the Grand Line and it's not gonna work out for them. I think they're gonna run into more people because he also still needs a bigger crew.
Okay.
So I'm almost positive we're gonna get at least 2 to 3 more new characters in volume 2. I think it's too early for Kobe to come back. I don't think he'll come back until a few volumes later.
Okay,
Let's
so
see what
Kobe's not
happens.
coming back.
Chapter
Okay.
8. Oh my god, he just bit a bird out the sky. Not they got played by a little girl. Stole their whole ship. Buggy the clown. Boo. Oh my gosh, she ate the gum fruit too. Oh, she's conniving. She's conniving. She's a little snake. That's it? What? That is the end of volume 1. What? I think that this is such a fun and whimsical story, especially coming from somebody that has never read manga in their life. I know I went into this knowing nothing about One Piece. It's a different style of reading, and I'm so used to reading books that have like 400, 500 pages of just words on the page. I have a new appreciation for manga and how in-depth it really can be and how quickly you can get through scenes. I think this is such a good palate cleanser if you do read a lot of books, like a lot of literature. Simply just busting out a few chapters every day, you will meet a new character. You'll progress a lot further in the story just by reading a few chapters, let alone volumes. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I've seen the comments. I'm nowhere near the good part. I'm just touching the tip of the iceberg. I know. So that just makes me more excited to keep reading.
I'm glad you guys are commenting on her videos. I'm also glad you guys are not spoiling. That's one thing I love about the One Piece community. No, obviously they're bad actors, you know, and bad fruits. Some of you guys are spoiling, but those of you guys, for the majority, are not spoiling and are actually helping them with their journey and consoling them in their sad moments. But yes, also I do want to know what you guys thought. So we recently did a interview of Cherry Cheddar. I will try my best to go ahead and edit it and condense it down to a proper video for you guys. But we did an interview with Cherry Cheddar, and I am curious to know what you guys thought about that. So be sure to comment down your thoughts on that interview and tell me if there's any specific people you want me to interview next. I know everybody is saying red-haired Mari. She's always busy. She's definitely a hard one to do. Becky's coming soon. Then an interview with Becky is definitely coming soon, for sure. You know what? Let's go ahead and do one more strawberry video, okay? Just for the long run. We'll go ahead and do one more.
What? We're volume 2. What? Of One Piece. Hey! Let's get into it.
We're in here for the long haul. We're gonna be here for a minute.
My predictions, I don't really have any good predictions right now for volume 2 because I feel like I'm so early in the story. Anything, my only prediction would be that this girl that's like Swiper the Fox, she's gonna play Luffy at least one time before she locks in and then they're together. Because she's a little too conniving for me and I need her to prove herself. Ooh, the title being Femme Fatale. I love that. So he got a pirate murderer and a pirate robber on his crew so far. He's doing great. I'm not a Santa clown, so Buggy, I don't care how fly you are, you not cool with me. Oh my god, they put him in a cannon? I like characters that are ruthless. Like, give me something, give me drama, give me tension. See, I can already tell Nami's about to do some slime shit to him. She's about to set him up. Oh, her sticking the tongue out is crazy. I told you. She's conniving. She's Swiper. The end of chapter 9. Prediction was correct. I was correct. I knew Nami was gonna betray him. She's a thief. You really gonna trust a thief the first time you meet them? Hell no. Predictions for chapter 10. Zoro is gonna find Luffy locked up with Captain Buggy. He's gonna save him, whip his fine ass swords around, and get him out. And then I think they're gonna run into Nami again, and then he's gonna want to beat her ass, but then she's gonna work out some kind of deal, and she's actually gonna become his navigator. Special Buggy Balls is a crazy statement. She's not gonna blow him up. She can't do that. She's just a robber. She's not a murderer. Solo! Zoro! Oh my god, see, I knew he was gonna pop up and save him. It's the end of chapter 10. Predictions for chapter 11. That Nami is going to explain who the pirates took from her life and why she hates pirates so much. And you as a trio on to try and find the Grand Line. Let's get into it. Chapter 11. And he beat his ass that fast. He did one swipe and that was it. What? No. He stabbed Zoro. Oh! The gum fruit. Oh! I'm annoyed. I know he's not gonna die, but I'm very confused. Annoyed. Yeah. Call him a big nose, Luffy. How do they beat him if he's rubber too? Does Zoro have like...
Well, Buggy's not rubber. He's just uncuttable.
Like, super strength? How the fuck did he move that cake? Captain Buggy, I hate to break it to you, but you are a fool. Boo-boo the fool, actually. That's the end of chapter 11. This is by far the most exciting chapters since volume 1. They're up against somebody that's on Luffy's level of like, they can't kill him, they can't slice and dice him. How do you kill somebody that has eaten the gum fruit? How do you stop them? I really
the chop fruit.
Hope they dig
but like she knows this obviously. It's just it's just a mistaken, like, you know, her talking, but she knows this obviously.
Excited to see what happens. I am back. Well,
that's good. That's now I kind of want to see more, but we do have to react to other people. Okay, this is Nathan's book talk. This is a new guy that I have never reacted to before. Let's check him out. This was suggested by Sarah Sparrow. Oh, so it's not a review. Got it. Okay. Did he do any reviews? Nathan. Nathan, where's the One Piece reviews? One Piece. Nathan, when you see this video, right? Could you please send me your review of One Piece? Maybe I skipped over it by accident. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe I skipped over it, okay? But could you send it to me if you did do one? I would love to check it out. Another day, another sleigh. I really enjoyed that. I miss those. Now, I like your makeup. Sorry, I had to say that.
I really don't know if I want to keep starting my One Piece reviews with that because things are not feeling very sleigh right now. Things are feeling very not sleigh.
They'll feel sleigh again soon, don't worry.
The Sabati arc of One Piece, and I have got a lot of things to say. This arc was extremely heavy, both in the overall plot and the themes that we explore, which are themes that we have seen before that we continue to explore because obviously the world government is a huge player in this.
And for those of you who don't know, Eustace Kid is my favorite supernova. Yeah.
Story. And the players that we're introduced to are really fucking scary. We meet Kizaru, who is one of the admirals of the Navy. We see Kuma again, and we see his cyborg twins. That's kind of what I want to call them right now, who are absolutely fucking insane. We meet the most offensive man in the world, who literally drove me up a wall with him saying that many times. And we are delivered a very brutal defeat, which we have not experienced yet. So things are looking not great. We start off this arc with meeting Kami and Hachi. We rescue Hachi from Duval's crew. Okay. We meet Duval. We figure out that Duval is someone who looks exactly like Sanji's wanted poster. That was very comical, and I think that was a good little breather before you were thrown into an absolute shit show. Then we get to the Sabati Archipelago, which is essentially these tiny...
I always say great, you made me not forget how I say it. Archipelago. That's what I always say, archipelago. But you say archipelago. That's cool. Archipelago. I'm gonna keep making fun of you for that.
Little islands that aren't really islands because there isn't a magnetic force of this essential. The whole infrastructure confused me a little bit. As soon as we got there, I was like, oh my god, this is such a pretty place, like how cool. And I remember seeing in my chat someone say famous last words, and you are so right, because this is a place where the world government and the Navy have a heavy presence, and this is a place where slavery and human trafficking is legal and sanctioned by the government. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We learned very quickly about the existence of the celestial dragons, which are basically people that are descendants of the first people in the world government. So they're Nepo babies because their granddaddies decided to make a world government after this 100-year void that we still don't have answers on. And they think they are fucking gods who deserve everything and who are allowed to have slaves and do whatever they fucking want because no one would dare touch them because the equivalent of a buster call would happen if they were, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Everything that we keep exploring in this is very unsettling, but unfortunately not shocking, because you can easily tell that Oda, all he had to do was look at history, look at what's going on in the world around him, and take inspiration from that. Because unfortunately, these are things that have happened in our history. These are things that continue to happen in our history. These are things and injustices that we see in today's government, and that is very sad, unsettling, but not surprising. But then we learn that Kami has been kidnapped by traffickers, and our crew just immediately gets into action, and I love that about them. It just continues to show that they have such good morals, and they will always protect those around them as best as they can. Like, once you are their friend, you are their friend, and you will always be protected. And the scene where Hachi was apologizing and saying that all he wanted to do was help them, and he was sorry for causing so much trouble, and the fact that Luffy was just like, why are you apologizing? You're our friend. I'm going to take care of you, was just beautiful, and like continues to show me that Luffy will always be the one to root for. Then we get dropped into an absolute shit show. We get to the auction house, which, yes, the world government knows about and pretends not to because it is basically sanctioned by them. Crew is trying to get Kami back, even in the legal way, which is essentially to purchase her, which I thought was fucking insane, but I understood why they did it that way and why they were trying to get her back that way in order to not draw attention to themselves and not create another fight with the government, because they just got over one that was very overwhelming. Fortunately, our resident man-child, Sir Charlos, who's obsessed with his fucking boogers, wanted to buy her, and so things start to go downhill very quickly. But I will say, Luffy punching him is one of the best scenes that I have
Did she see the anime version
ever
of that?
read. Like, Luffy's punches of villains have been incredible. This one, I think, was the most deserved, and it will live rent-free in my mind. Like, it was so good. My reaction to it was so fun. I am going to react to it in the anime later because I just need to see that.
Okay, so she did.
And oh god, I just loved it. I will say, one of the really, really cool parts of this arc was meeting the Supernova rookies and finally meeting Law. I immediately went and I looked at the scene in the anime because my chat let me know that his VA is also Levi's VA, and I love
Now even Law gets fangirls. Where's the Sanji love, man?
Levi's VA, so that was very, very enjoyable for me. And to see all of their powers was really, really cool, and to kind of see who is also on this journey that Luffy and Straw Hats are. And then seeing Luffy, Kid, and Law fight against the Navy was very fun. To kind of get to experience all of their devil fruits together was a very enjoyable fight, and it makes me excited for what's to come. I hope that we see them fight together again in the future, because I think that would just be very, very cool. And I cannot make this video without talking about Rayleigh. Oh my god, his introduction was so fucking cool. His immediate walkout and making everyone pass out with his incredibly powerful hockey was just beautiful. And then to finally see someone that was part of Roger's crew and to get some answers on what happened during their voyage was really, really cool. And I love that I was right about Crocus being a part of their crew, even if it was just for a little short while. I was very excited to get that confirmed. And I loved Luffy being like, don't you dare tell me anything.
So at this point, we have 3 confirmed members. We have Shanks, Crocus, and we have Rayleigh. Okay,
about the cool. One Piece, I will never go on a voyage again if you tell me. Like, that was very cool. And it just really solidified Luffy as my favorite character, which is not shocking because I think Luffy.
Okay. All right, so it's not Zoro. I mistake you for one of the other book talkers. Yeah, no, Luffy being your favorite character is easily valid. He is my favorite
He
character.
is everyone's favorite character. And then the end of this arc was probably the most distressful thing that I have ever read. Because things just did not end up well. And that's the first time that I've experienced that with One Piece. Right now, I am theorizing that Kuma sending them away was actually trying to help them. Now, why do I think that? I have literally nothing to back me up other than my own mind trying to gaslight me that things are okay and that they didn't go somewhere completely separated.
I mean, I don't know. That wouldn't make sense, really. Right?
I don't know. I really am hoping that Kuma is secretly a good person, because one thing that I do remember is Kizaru saying, "What?"
Kuma has little robot clones. Who has little robot clones and it's a good Mari?
What's Kuma doing here? They were supposed to all meet Navy headquarters. He's not supposed to be here. So that was my one hint of, okay, he's not supposed to be here. So what is he doing here? And now he sent them away, and he said something along the lines of, if it doesn't concern the government, I don't have to explain my actions. And so yeah, I'm hoping that things are going to be decently okay.
Wait, doesn't that make Kuma even more suspicious though? Like, he clearly is doing things that the world government doesn't like. He doesn't want the world government to publicly know about. And we just got out of an island of traffickers. Like, what would he be doing here? You know, like Mari, I feel like the clues are there. You know, I wouldn't go as far as saying he's a good guy. Kuma, all right.
Because if they're not, I'm going to lose my mind. Thoughts. I do think that this was a brilliant arc. I think it was so impactful. I think it was so well done. The world building was fucking crazy. The more info that we're getting on the world government and other players here was very, very well done, even though it was so stressful to read. But unfortunately, I think that's, what we want in a fictional world. We don't want things to always be happy and fun. Like, we want intrigue. We want things to sometimes go bad, even though it's so very stressful to read. But I do think that this is probably one of my favorite arcs that I have read, just because it is so well done. The things that went well went really, really well. The things that went bad went really, really bad. And I think it does a really good job of setting up this new world that we're going into and just how utterly unprepared we are for it. So I know that I was a little bit all over the place with this one. I did not actively take notes while I was reading it because I read it on stream last night. So I will do a better job of doing that whenever I read something on stream, just because I do want to put my best foot forward with these reviews. They are so fun to make. I love talking with you all. So apologies for this one being a little everywhere and I didn't catch everything that I probably could have, but I'm excited.
She didn't mention Eustace Captain Kidd. I love Captain Eustace Kidd, man. Why don't you mention him? He's my favorite. Keep going.
I need some answers like right now. So yeah, I will see you when I see you. Bye. And I need someone to beat the living shit out of Blackbeard right now, because I know it in my heart that he turned an ace. It hasn't been confirmed to me, but I know it in my heart that that is why Ace isn't impaled down right now. And this panel fucking destroyed me last night.
I like the makeup, by the way. What did I do? Oh my gosh. TikTok.
I read it. And this panel fucking obliterated me.
Okay.
And I am just so utterly upset about what's about to happen, and I thought I had so much time, but the fact that we have 6 days is horrendous.
6 days to
and
what?
I am so fucking upset. And I fucking hate Blackbeard. I don't care that he's got his goals. I don't give a shit.
Damn.
I don't like him as a character.
Damn.
I don't.
Damn. She's a hater.
I need someone to be.
We'll watch one more.
I just read Impel Down.
Damn.
I'm not actively crying right now because I did it on stream.
Okay.
But let's just say I'm not doing well. I just read Impel Down.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. So for those of you who are unaware, she does have a streaming channel, as she said in the video. Right here is the streaming channel. You be sure to go ahead and follow it. It's FPS Mari _ underscore. Oh, I mean, she probably plays like Marvel. I want to see how good she is at Marvel Rivals. I'm curious to know what rank she is at Marvel Rivals. But yes, there you go. This is her Twitch. If you want to follow it, go ahead and follow it. And yeah, go support Mari. We will now stop our regularly scheduled program for an ad. It's not really an ad. So you guys sent me a video and you wanted me to show it to the people on YouTube. So here I am.
Corpse after corpse.
Trying to cancel out 10.
In my way.
So you're gonna eat 10 rotisserie chickens to cancel out 10 vegans? Okay.
As I waited.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. This is Juliette.
One together. I already started it, but there's some things that I want to mention before.
All right.
With Mr. 2,
Okay.
who I don't like at all, they were fighting with Sanji, and they said something along the lines, I'm going to use, like, my special clone power on you. And they said, like, oh, the world's weirdest nose, the world's weirdest mouth, weirdest head. And then it's just them and what they actually look like. So I wondered to myself, did they forget what they originally looked like because of how much they used their powers to, like, shapeshift and clone other people? It's like a trope that happened in Throne of Glass where Lysandra is a shapeshifter, and she, because of like how much she shapeshifted, she forgot what she originally looked like. Is that the case with Mr. 2 as well? And then at the end they shook hands with Sanji and they were crying a little bit. That was weird. Usopp's bravery is like astonishing me. The way he protected like Chopper while they were fighting those two idiots. I'm pretty sure it's Miss Christmas and Mr. 4 was so afraid and he was running away. But then he heard her say, oh, Luffy's dead, Crocodile killed him, and she was making fun of Luffy, and that got him mad. That literally stopped Usopp, the coward and the liar, from running away, though he knew he cannot match them, and started saying, you cannot talk about Luffy like that. Luffy is going to become the king of the pirates. His character development is ongoing. The way he has like 100% trust in Luffy and Luffy's abilities and Luffy's dream, it makes my heart so happy. Him and Chopper actually beat them, and at one point he said even something along the lines of, Chopper, get behind me, even though he was getting his ass beat. Mr. 1, who's basically like a sword human being, and the girl with him, what was her face? She went after Nami. And then we get a flashback of Nami asking Usopp to make her weapon because she can't fight like them. And he actually did make her weapon. What is her power? Have you figured? Oh. I'm a human spike. I can produce spikes from any part of my body. Okay, she needs no armor. This one needs no armor for sure. I was wondering about her outfit. Okay. They can pierce stone walls.
You were wondering about her outfit. Okay, Juliette.
So Usopp helped her produce this triangle thingy that can make it rain, can stir up wind. Once in position, this miraculous baton.
Like, can we talk about how genius of an inventor Usopp is? He's like, what? 15-ish? 16-ish? And this man made something that could manipulate the weather?
Can cause extraordinary changes in the weather. Is it the Bhutan or is it you, Nami? I'm always suspicious about her abilities with predicting the weather correctly or manipulating it somehow. Like, it's just in the back of my mind always. So is she doing this and using the batons?
That's a good question.
Excuse? Or is Usopp a magician who made her like this shtick? Pigeons? That idiot. Okay, yeah, he is an idiot, and so am I. Oh my god. Flowers instead of clouds. This is what I'm talking about. She's fighting a spear woman, and Nami, or Oda, decides that the best solution here is for Nami to take her clothes off. Slit skirt that shows off skin. Like, is what...
It makes sense. So you can freely move. Duh. I wouldn't want to be restricted if I were Nami, you know?
It is. The thing that Usopp made for her is not useless after all. Heart dropped. Oh my god, my heart actually dropped. I thought she actually got climate Bhutan, you say. Still suspicious. I may look like an idiot, but I'm actually a curious idiot, so fight.
Guys, she's not just an idiot. She's a curious idiot. She is very curious about her idiocracy? I don't know what that means.
Me. Fight my curious idiocity. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do?
I was right.
Thank God Nami won her battle against that spiky woman. A shot of it can vaporize an entire island to smithereens. My Allah. Terrible weapon of the ancient world, and it's sleeping somewhere in this kingdom. That has been my goal from the very start. With that in my possession, I can forge the most powerful military nation in the region.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. The nuclear weapons for the One Piece world powers until it surpasses that of the world government. Mine will be the kingdom of legend. Zoro scares me. He's not afraid of death, which is scary for anyone to be like an opponent to him. But he said, so your body is made of like steel, like actual steel of swords. And he's like, yeah, you can't defeat me. And he said, I've been waiting to be driven into a corner like this. Like, who says that? Who thinks about these things? So that I could take it up a notch in strength. When I defeat you, that means I'll be able to cut through steel. And he's smiling. I'd be shaking in my boots. This is Zoro, no normal man. God, if this is gonna be the same way it was with Mewok, and Zoro's gonna get like his world rocked, I'm not gonna be able to recover. Like for him, I'm not gonna be able to recover. Like his emotional state is gonna be devastated. Like he's gonna be devastated. I've pushed myself harder than anyone. I've been to the brink of death 1,000 times. So what am I lacking? Got flashbacks here. Unfortunately, you're not going to see me cut steel. And then he lifts a building off the ground. Zoro just lifted a building off the ground. When I do, that'll be the end of you. Is Zoro alive, dude? Dude gets back up on his feet. I'm gonna cry. There's not a single place from his front where he's not bleeding. Dude, Zoro's freaking me out. What do you mean I can hear the stone breathing? What do you mean I can hear the heartbeat of trees? Hearing the breathing? Is this the power to cut steel? What? Clearly, I need to propose to him, or else.
Wait, hold on. Why are we jumping to conclusions? How you go from cutting steel to proposing to him for marriage? What? Why are we jumping to conclusions? I am tired of the Zoro fangirls. Alright, we gotta go ahead and watch another one. You know we have to.
Have a little bit more time today, extra. Let's start volume 22 together. I like to end the volumes and start them with you guys. Crocodile is after like basically a nuclear weapon. Miss All Sunday is confusing me. She's got ulterior motives, ulterior agendas. Why is she helping Luffy's crew twice now? Igram got exploded but didn't really get exploded. And now she helped Luffy escape the sand that he was buried in. Zoro won the battle, but at what cost? Bro's bleeding from everywhere. Oh, Koza is here now. I find the king being killed by our national hero. This can't be happening.
Okay.
What an interesting development. Koza was just telling them the battle is over. Raise the white flag. And then he got put down.
Damn.
Is that Mr. 2 impersonating the soldiers? Crocodile has Vivi by the throat, hanging off a cliff, telling her that all you did was futile, you infiltrated my organization, and it's all for nothing. Can't save it. He let her go. He let her go. Luffy! Yes! Oh, what a relief. So Luffy saved her, and she's like, adorable. I can't do anything, they're not hearing my voice, no one can hear my pleas. And Luffy says, I can hear your voice. And that's just enough, mind you, that's enough. I trust him, this is gonna be solved. I ate a lot of meat and I'm itching for a fight. Boy just regenerated.
Yeah,
he's charged, ready to go. How'd you get out of the quicksand? Your partner helped him, you idiot. She's got ulterior motives. Can you hear my brother? Losing his mind.
That was a brother? I thought that was a woman. I'm sorry.
Sanji just asked Zoro, why is Nami injured? Mind you, Zoro is covered with blood from head to toe. He was like, she's fine, dude. Look at me. He landed a hit on him. Is he gonna like set him on fire? Is he gonna take my advice and set them on fire? What's on his back? If water touches you, you can't turn into sand. That's why you stole the rain. You're afraid of water. Oh, that makes so much sense. Now I can hit you. Get ready for a real fight, Sandman. Oh my goodness, this is actually exciting. My phone is gonna turn off. It's like at 1%.
Oh, okay.
But I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I have. Look, I was gonna
Well, it's tomorrow. Let's go ahead and check it out.
go to bed and just chuck what I'm thinking about right now
Okay.
to manga and anime logic and get it
Okay.
off my head, right? But I
right.
cannot do that in good faith. In the scene between Zoro and the man, Mr. One. Reading it fast because I was so captivated by the scene and what was happening, and so
I hear the background sound. I hope I don't get copyrighted for it.
I just couldn't stop and analyze. But this panel where Zoro lifts off a house, a building, and chucks it at Mr. One is just unreal to me. One right here lifts it off right on his shoulder, big man's shoulder, and then chucks it at Mr. One. And then later on, Mr. One shreds his entire chest, okay? Mr. One shreds Zoro's entire chest. Okay? Impossible feat. And he thinks this man is dead. I killed him. Here, this panel where he takes the blow. Just shredded. And then he throws him towards this, like, the stone thingy. Again, he's getting shredded again. Look at his chest. His chest shredded again. Look. And the stone starts falling. This man, Mr. One, is walking away, then stops. Turns around because Zoro is on his feet. Look at the minutes. Supposed to be a dead man. Every single time he had an impossible feat. Every single time he survived an impossible injury. I chucked it. He's been training with swords his entire life. He's been training to be a swordsman, the greatest one at that. Because of the promise that he made to his best friend. So I always chucked his strength and his stamina and the way that he survives injuries to him training his whole life for this specific thing.
Right.
This specific injury and what he did before and what he did after here and what he says specifically is making me question things. Well, Mr. One asks him, how can you possibly stand up? I cut you to ribbons. And how did you dodge all the falling rubble? Dodge? No, that's not it. I knew where the stones wouldn't fall. Knew is in bold italic, by the way. And then he says, my sword is under that rock. What? I've had this feeling before. Everything around me was eerily silent. My heartbeat was like distant thunder. It was like standing at the gates of Hades. The gates of Hades? You mean the gates of hell? The gates of hell? Why are we mentioning the gates of hell suddenly, so suddenly? And then he says, the falling rock, I could feel something alive in them. Not just a presence, something more distinct, like breathing. The rocks breathing, the trees with heartbeats of their own. The earth itself breathing. His master said, listen, Zoro, there are swordsmen in this world who are able to not cut anything. To not cut anything, is that like hearing the breathing? Is this the power to cut steel? And then he defeats this man. He says, I can hear it. The breathing of his steel. My swords understand my will. But that doesn't explain his stamina, brothers and sisters. It does not explain anything. Okay, the god, so cool. But again, the gates of Hades. Brother, you got your chest cut into ribbons. You survived that. Rocks fall on top of you. You're talking about some, oh, I can feel the rocks breathing. I can hear the trees' heartbeat. Again, why are we mentioning the gates of hell? What's with his stamina? Should I just chuck it to anime logic?
Nope,
I don't have like
an
actual like distinct theory on what is causing this or what's letting him survive this much or have this much stamina. We could just say like, okay, he's trained his whole life to take these types of injuries from swords and sharp objects, but you lifted a building, brother.
That is true.
I'm gonna sit here and wonder, scratch my head, thinking, why are we mentioning the gates of Hades again? I don't know. Look, I was gonna go to bed.
Very good, very good. I wonder what any of that means. Leave me alone! Leave me alone! This is even funnier when you realize that she's an adult. I love her so much, man. Cheddar is pretty cool. Hi, Jess. It's been a minute. How you been?
One Piece reading update. Does
Okay.
Luffy ever get less annoying?
What do you do? What my nigga do? Free my nigga Luffy, man. Why he being judged already? Dang.
This kid will not learn. And I know that this book was written for like 12-year-old boys, and it has that
Nuh-uh. 12 and a half.
kind of humor, and him being annoying is probably a part of that because 12-year-old boys are also annoying. But Luffy, get it together. Overall, though, I am enjoying it. This is funny. Like, I catch myself kind of chuckling at parts, and so far I'm enjoying the characters, maybe not so much Luffy. As I have told you all, my husband has read all of it up until this point, and it's something that we're able to talk about together. We've actually been reading some of it together. You guys are going to judge me for this, but I was really thrown off that it's in black and white. I don't know why I assumed that it would be.
Two thoughts came to my mind. I was going to make a joke saying she's racist, but then I also thought about the Michael Jackson song. If you're black or white, yeah, no? Oh, okay. All right, I'll stop.
Color, and that was just a mental block for me at first. So I was reading online some of the colored in versions, but like I said, my husband was reading along with me, and he was like, these translations are not that great. They didn't translate everything, so like the boom, pows, those are still in Japanese, and he said that some of the wording was kind of weird. There was, when they're referring to like the captains and stuff, they aren't translating the roles that people are, and so even though the colored in version was aesthetically pleasing, the translations, I couldn't fully trust them. If you have a reputable online version that is colored in that has better translations, please let me know. But I started reading back in the old school.
So the reason why you guys see the little sleep thing is because I am recording this right now at 12:15 a.m. at night. If I don't do it right now, I know I won't have time to do it later. I got a bunch of other videos to work on, so.
Black and white, handheld version, and safe to say, I will be okay. I am still really enjoying it. So I'll be back to give you guys an update once I have finished the first arc and give you my review as someone who is going through this experience for the first time. And side note, this manga One Piece community is so nice. I've had several of you reach out to me and give me your perspective and, you know, wish me well on this journey and offer to be support, to talk about things if I'm confused by anything, and I just really appreciate that so much. Some of y'all are really concerned about things that are gonna happen that I'm gonna read like 6,000 pages from now, and I'll show my husband the comments, and he's like, yeah, you don't have to worry about that for a while. So guys, I'm on volume 1.
That was from a while ago, by the way.
I don't upload for one day, and I just miss you guys so much.
Aww, you heard that, guys. She misses everyone, most especially me, but she misses everyone equally, especially me, but equally everyone.
Pia, let's talk about it. I am currently on chapter 255, and this arc has just been...
Why am I getting sent memes from you guys in the middle of me reacting to... Jeez, man.
So fun. I haven't really wanted to even...
Also, at the time that I had a live stream with her, she already got done with Skypea. But we're going to go ahead and react to this anyway.
Put it down. This world is just really cool. It's really amazing how much Oda has been able to world build and just suck us into this Sky Island realm. It just feels so different than the Blue Sea. Obviously, we're in the sky, but it's just crazy how many differences there are. So the crew rides up on the big current, and I just want to say that Nami's moment here where she says to unfurl the sails because she's the navigator, and they quite literally end up flying up, was such an awesome moment. I just loved it so much. So they get to the White Sea where they meet Ganfor, the Sky Knight, and they get to a place called Heaven's Gate. where this old lady says that it's 1 billion extols per person to enter, and obviously they don't have that kind of cash. So she says, oh, you can go in, but it's at your own risk. They get to Skypiea and a place called Angel Beach, where they meet Conus, her little cloud fox Sue, and her dad Pagaya, I believe. And they're all really, really nice. And they get to experience a waiver, which was hilarious because, of course, Luffy couldn't drive it. And then he ended up sinking also through a cloud sea. I guess he can't swim in any ocean, no matter what it's made of. And, of course, Nami masters it immediately. I loved that whole bit. And we just get a lot about the world here. We learn about dial power, which is so interesting. We learn about the cloud quarry, where clouds are literally mined to build and create things. It's just a really cool experience. I'm really interested to see like where Oda found his inspo for this. It's just so creative, and there's just so many things that I wouldn't even think of. Everything's going.
That is a very good question. I don't think, to my knowledge, I know where Oda's inspiration for Skypiea came from. I know the mythology was inspired by different, like folklores and stuff, but I generally don't know where the island inspiration from. If you guys know, please tell me, but I really don't know.
Great until it's not. Nami ends up taking the waiver to this forest, the place of the kami, where it's really dangerous, and she witnesses some really scary and powerful individuals. So she runs back to warn the crew, and right as she's running back, this is when the crew gets confronted by the cloud officials, essentially, the Skypiea police, and they say that they're illegal trespassers because they didn't pay the fine. So the option is to either leave immediately, I think, or they can fix it by paying 10 times the fine. So they would have to pay 70 billion extols, which comes out to 7 million berries. Again, they do not have this kind of cash. So they obviously fight and try to get away, and then this crab thing ends up capturing the ship with Robin, Chopper, Nami, and Zoro on board. And they basically keep them captive. So it's up to Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji to go and rescue them. They're basically taken to the upper yard, which is the domain of the kami, where they have to undergo a trial from one of the vassals of the kami. So they end up fighting this really obnoxious guy and end up prevailing. And meanwhile, Chopper is under attack because Nami, Robin, and Zoro went to explore the forest, and they're at this altar, and they leave Chopper there with the boat, and one of the vassals comes to finish off the crew, and he finds Chopper, and Chopper blows the whistle to summon Ganfor, and they end up having this fight, and somehow, even though they were defeated and thrown into the water, they end up surviving somehow. So the crew all ends up, they have just come back together, and they have pieced together that this upper stratum is in fact the missing piece of the island of Jaya. So they have now figured out, they put the two pieces of the map together and find out that it's a skull, so they can go and find the treasure now. So they're all really excited. They want to go find the treasure. And I have just met the current kami, Inaru. Yeah,
Enel.
immediate bad
Inaru,
vibes from this guy as well. He seems very...
He got bad vibes? I mean, I guess.
very cocky and arrogant. Does not want these Straw Hat crew members around at all. So that's where I'm at. I know I've left a lot of stuff out. Again, I have my little notes, but I will, again, be uploading a YouTube video that kind of covers all of the details of this arc.
Right, I gotta find where her
excited
YouTube
for it.
channel is. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, stay classy.